Good morning. My thought for today is that Christianity would be so much more powerful if it were more about what we do than what we believe. And I was thinking that in my years of being a catechist or a person who teaches the Catholic faith to people, a whole lot of that revolved around telling people what they should believe. And not very much of it revolved around inspiring people to live like Jesus lived and to listen to the teachings of Jesus with an open heart. It was more about trying to convince them to believe in their brains that Mary was a virgin, that Jesus performed miracles, that God sent Jesus to earth to suffer and die for our sins, and that Jesus rose after he was tortured to death. He rose from the dead physically. And I remember this one time I had this class of teenagers, and there was a boy in the class who was very, very brave and very, very honest and very doubtful about Christianity and the Christian faith. And so I was having a conversation in the classroom one day, and I said to him, "When did you first start doubting? When did you really first start questioning the faith?" Because he came from a very faithful Christian Catholic family. And he said, "Well, probably the moment that I really started to question what I had been taught was the moment that I found out what a virgin was." And so, because I was telling him that he had to believe that Mary was a virgin when she gave birth to Jesus, the rest of the story, the most important part of the story, he could not believe. And I think that's sad, because I think that if we really follow the teachings of Jesus, what Jesus said, and if we follow the actions of Jesus, what Jesus did, that's how Christianity really comes alive in the world. Not by believing in a set of facts that we somehow have to convince ourselves of, but loving and forgiving and healing and spreading good news and spreading peace and spreading joy. That part of the Christian story is so often left out because we focus on telling people that they have to believe certain things that they, no matter how hard they try, cannot convince themselves to believe.